Philadelphia. We yelling black and gold to the Super Bowl. Black and gold to the Super Bowl. Black and gold to the Super Bowl. We yelling who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that?
Smell the gumbo. You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio, hosted by the Cajun himself, Laine.
Welcome to Cajun Sports Radio. Sunday, 7. What's the date, Dad? The 21st. July 21st, 2013. We got a big. What are you looking at? It's the 21st. We got a big show planned for everybody. SEC Media Days was it was all week. LSU was what? Wednesday or Thursday was LSU. And we got some good video to recap that. We got that. We're going to do the SEC Media Days, and we're going to preview, right out of the commercial break, we're going to preview the 2013 NFL season. We're going to look at some teams, look at the schedule, look at some big games going on in the first few weeks of football. As I do that, Dad, go ahead and welcome yourself to the show.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just want to tell everybody thank y'all for listening to Cajun Sports Radio, and y'all have a good work week.
Have a good work week. We're still in the air.
I know it.
But what do you say real quick about the workforce?
It's done.
If you want to get involved with the show, you could call or text. Dad's going to be handling that tonight. 318-451-0842. You could call that number to get on the air live, or you could text it to put your comments on the air. You could also text at the bottom right-hand corner of the chat box. Right out of the bat, let's get y'all some video coverage. And, some audio coverage of the media days. And right off the bat, I went through, I've already heard all of it. Here is some highlights that were broken down. First, let's listen to Les Miles. This is a little bit of Les Miles during the media days. He had some pretty interesting things to say. Well, we'll wait for that to load. It's taking a little while. I don't know what the problem is. We had it all ready to roll in video form. For some reason, it doesn't play. We do apologize for that. But basically, Les Miles complained about Dad having to play Georgia every year, or having to play Florida every year, and having to play Georgia, and saying that it should all be rotation when playing the SEC East. What do you think?
Well, this is the first time I ever hear Les Miles really get on about the schedule.
Well, he has mentioned it. He has mentioned it before.
Not like he did this week.
Yeah, he blew it up this week.
He blew it up this week. And really, y'all, we said that the other day. It's just not fair. I don't understand how we got to play the Floridas and the Georgias, and Alabama got to play the Kentuckys and the Tennessees. I don't understand that.
Well, a lot of it's I don't know what. I ran the virus protection on the computer, but it's slow tonight. I don't know. It's freezing and stuff. Okay, we're back here. Sorry if it froze up. Dad was saying that Tennessee, tradition-wise, was tough. But you say that they were tough. What? They had a few good years around the Peyton Manning time, and after him. They won after he left. Yeah. But now they bring in a new head coach. They fired Dooley.
Where did he end up going?
Offensive coordinator? No, he's coaching for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, he went pro.
Yeah, but he
That's
got
right.
some care. Let's see.
Yeah.
I think we've already brought this up one time on the show. He took some low position in the NFL.
I really thought, y'all, when he left Louisiana Tech, I thought he was going to rattle some chains at Tennessee.
That's all.
I don't know what happened. I don't even know what happened. Y'all, they gave us a game. Remember, they almost beat us, and at the end, LSU scored it. They almost had us.
That was like, what, a year, 2
Yeah.
years ago? Yeah, he's, like I said, he is the coach. Wide receivers coach of the Dallas Cowboys. So he took a big...
How you start falling.
Yeah. When you're I don't care if you're in the NFL. If you're a receivers coach from a head coach...
Yeah.
Tennessee, that's big money. They get more people in their stands than we do. That's a big fan base.
Yeah.
For him to go from little Louisiana Tech to Tennessee in 1 year, wouldn't that? Would you think that was too much of a jump for him?
He was there longer than a year.
No, I'm saying in a 1 year's time, he went from Louisiana Tech
Yeah.
to Tennessee. No, nothing in between. He went from.
Yeah, that was
Now I know he coached for LSU, didn't he? He coached with Nick Saban and
a
LSU.
long time ago. Yeah.
But
He was doing good at Tech. He
was
had
the-
the program. He had the program.
he was the athletic director over there too.
Yeah, he was rolling. He took that big head coaching job and fell to pieces.
Which this should prove. No disrespect to Tech, because I'm roasting a lot. Mid-major football is a whole lot different than SEC football.
Oh yeah.
It's a whole nother ballgame. What I didn't like,
Hats off to Tech this year. They did good.
they screwed themselves though.
Yeah, but that was the end for the Bulls. They messed up there.
They screwed
But
themselves.
they had our quarterback. You hear me? He should chunk that ball.
Basketball too, man. They had a squad.
Oh, yeah.
The what you call it? The Sun Belt had their media days this week. You know who were projected to be the top teams in the conference this year? UL Lafayette's projected to be 2. UL Monroe's projected to be 1. So both teams expected to get big bowl games. They were saying that it's amazing the money that has came through UL over the last few years.
UL,
They're always
UL's blowing up, man.
You go to their stadium,
UL's
they're
blowing
building
up.
new things.
They are. They blowing up, and look, the baseball team. They would have did better in the World Series than what we did. They went to the regions. It's just we just had a bad run. But long story short, y'all, real quick, they got us predicted, y'all. 3, the football team ranked like number 3 in the West. That ain't good, Laine.
Well, they got us behind Texas A&M and Alabama. I mean,
Yeah.
well, that doesn't mean anything. LSU's flying underneath the radar, and that's exactly what Les Miles wants. Les Miles said that he will go to bat for this. You know, he's his same stuff.
Yeah.
He'll go to bat for this team, and he likes what he sees. But what people aren't putting into effect, everybody's worried about Mettenberger in the offense.
Yeah.
When you lose 10 defensive players
Thank you.
like they did,
I
to
was
the
very
draft,
going to say, he
I
would
don't
not
care.
admit it. He lost 10 players.
That's
Well,
all we
how
had in the
many were-
draft.
Yeah, the defense. Yeah, we got a young defensive team. Yeah.
We bringing in all new faces, man. We
Yeah,
lost the whole Think about it. If you got 10 going to the draft, most of them were starters.
That's right.
So there's 11 starters. You're rebuilding your whole defense. And I don't
Yeah.
care. I keep hearing from these guys who like to follow recruiting. Oh, well, LSU recruited this one, that one.
Nah.
You can't. They're still freshmen. You know, they're still young talent.
And there's still a reason why they left early. I just think that they had enough.
Well,
There's something. There's something somewhere that we don't know everything.
last 2 years, let's face it, in LSU football, last couple of years, we've had terrible endings to the season. And
Yeah,
Les Miles used to be known as Mr. Bowl game. Last 2 years, what? Actually, in the last 4 years, he's lost 3 of them. He lost in 2009. He won in 2010. He lost in 2011, and he lost last year. He's 1-3 in the last 4 years in bowl games.
The last year in the Chicken Bowl, we were just finished. The players just didn't want, man.
I go back to, and this is where I have a problem, and I'm contradicting myself. All I keep hearing, and even Mettenberger said this week at media days. They asked him about Jeremy Hill. Oh, well, we got Blue. We got plenty of established running backs. I do not care, and I've got to back that up on that. Jeremy Hill not being on this team, that is going to affect this football team.
A big blow.
It's going to affect them. Look how well Les Miles, really and truly, if you remember right, didn't use Hill right at the end of that game. You remember they kept pulling him out when they needed him?
That's right.
That was one of the reasons why LSU lost. I remember Blue, before he got hurt last year, he was rolling. We know that.
Yep.
Jeremy Hill was rolling, and
Let me see if it's clear.
I can tell you now. What do we have on here?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, good deal. I can tell you right now
Thank you, dude.
that Alfred Blue is going to be a little bit different coming back from that injury. You know?
Yeah. As far as, believe me, Jeremy Hill, if they could have washed this one away, they would have washed it. They just, it's serious, more serious than what everybody thinks. He needs to be on that field line this year especially.
But that's the whole reason why I think Les Miles is keeping this as quiet as he can. And he's trying, every time they make a comment, he's trying to get out of it because he knows, he's hoping that judge doesn't push the violation of his parole, of his whatever it's called, probation.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, then Les Miles can, if he has to, okay. If he has to miss TCU, we're fine. And then what? We got a couple of other cupcake games.
Yeah.
We need that sucker by SEC play, though.
Oh.
That's what we need him.
Yeah.
But
I didn't even know this. Like they said this week that he's not even allowed.
that's what they said in media days.
Yeah,
Well, no,
he's
he's
not
kicked
allowed
off.
in the locker room. Nothing.
That's the whole point of being suspended indefinitely.
Well, I just thought maybe, he
When
would
you're
try to work out. He said, and the other guys are taking it hard. They did say that because they want him on the team.
Zach Mettenberger, in my opinion, kind of threw him underneath the rug, though, by just saying,
he's
like...
big-headed. He
Well-
needs to show me something this year.
I was not impressed with the way he handled himself at media days.
He's locking up.
Once again, I always talk about these people. I give them a lot of promotion. That station in Lafayette, 103.7, they were there. And they did an exclusive interview with him, and by the time he got to them, they burned him. They showed the footage of him saying, do I have to keep doing these? Do I have to keep talking to these people?
Whoa!
And you could hear the LSU PR people saying, shh, this is part of your job. This is what you do, is you have to talk to the media. And people go back to last year, okay? Turner and Matthew. There's mixed back and forth. As soon as Matthew got kicked off to the team, you had these diehard LSU fans say, "Oh, it ain't gonna make no difference. We got others." That's bogus. Who knows? Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question, Zach. If Turner and Matthew was on that LSU team last year, how much different would the season have been?
A big difference.
You think they would have competed for a national championship
Yep.
with him?
Oh, yeah.
I think so too.
Oh, yeah, but look, a year before last, that Alabama game, another thing, y'all, we're going to go back 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago. It takes years to build a team. I don't know if y'all remember this. It takes years. The LSU team was built around Paraloo at one time. That's how they look at it. But when he got suspended, when he got kicked off, that throws everything off, y'all.
It all revolted around him. You're right.
It just takes years. It just don't throw a quarterback in there and a running back. You got to build this up. When that happened to Paraloo, that a bomb hit LSU.
That was like a bomb. And that's when it all started, really, with all these problems we're having. Well, it's just like you look at Matthew. He was the leader of the team going into last year. And when he wasn't there, it threw the whole... That's just like Jeremy Hill. Jeremy Hill was coming in this year as a big name for the team, a big leader.
That's right.
It's just things... Okay, I keep hearing, when other people get in trouble at other schools, you don't hear about it. The problem that LSU's having, people, is that it's not the quantity, it's the people that are getting in trouble for them. It's these big names.
That's right.
If
you ain't a name, you ain't going to hear about it.
Yeah, it's these big names that are getting in trouble for LSU. That's killing them. That goes to Mr. Johnny. We're going to go ahead and segue in Mr. Johnny Manziel, a.k.a. Johnny Football. He's had a hell of a week. Last weekend, it was reported he was at that Manning camp. They do it every year.
In Thibodeau.
Yeah, Thibodeau. He was rooming with the Alabama quarterback, McCarron. Mm-hmm. They were roommates. Well, he asked the guy, McCarron, hey, you want to go out? It was the night before one of the first days, I believe, one of the first few days. Hey, you want to go out? McCarron says, nah. Of course, McCarron's a winner. He's won national championships. He's got that Nick Saban in him.
Not just that. He was afraid what Nick Saban would say.
Exactly.
That's a coach.
He was scared. You're exactly right.
He
would have been scared of Nick Saban finding out.
I guess.
What do you think Nick Saban would have did if McCarron would have got kicked out of Manning camp?
Oh.
What do you think Nick Saban would have did if McCarron went out with Johnny Manziel and gotten kicked out. But that's what I was leading to. Johnny goes out. And McCarron told the media, he said when he woke up, Johnny was just getting in. He was out all night partying. And you keep hearing, well, he had SEC media days, him saying, I'm a college kid and I'm going to do this and I'm going to get in trouble and I'm going to have my fun. And I get that. But when you got that microscope that's on you, you don't go out during the game. When you had the Manning training camp or the Manning passing academy, Dad, you don't go out and get drunk all night the night before. Go do that some other time.
Yeah. And first thing, y'all, I know a lot of people won't like to hear this. They gave him the Heisman too early, the first year, to me. No, Lane. It's
but if a man deserves it,
yeah.
If he deserves it, he deserves it.
The only reason why he got it because they beat Alabama. But long story short, they blew him up. He got a lot of pressure. They turn around. He leaves the camp. Now Manning him because see people pay. In fact,
kids showed up just to see him.
$15 a ticket, and he wasn't there.
And he was no, that ain't counting the money of the training. I want to say if you get trained by, because he was a trainer.
Yeah.
If you get trained, I know it's more than $15 a person. I can promise you that.
I just don't understand it. You wanna have the
spotlight.
The spotlight.
Here it is.
And he goes throw that. I don't know.
But back to McCarron. And this was a question that was brought up, and I thought about it. If there was one quarterback right now that you could take out of all college football, who would it be? Exactly. Think about it. He got 2 national championships. Think of the big games he's been in. He might not be flashy. He might not have the big arm, but he's a winner.
Yeah.
He knows how to win.
And he has a coach.
He has a coach and a girlfriend.
She was at the
ESPYs.
The ESPYs.
Yeah, which was, if y'all watched it, the ESPYs were pretty good Thursday night.
Yeah, Lane called me
Wednesday
about
night.
Y'all. I didn't really know too much about it. He called me. It was like all kind of sports.
Well, it's been going on for 20 years.
Yeah, I just never, really got into all that. But it was all right.
It was the award banquet for all the sports, and they picked on Manziel, saying that they just picked on him. But bottom line here is what we're getting at is when you in the SEC. Well, hold on before I get to that. The coach for A&M, I can't think of his name right offhand. Black guy. I can't. I don't know what I can't think of his name. I'll figure it out in a little while. Does he have control of Manziel? Does he? Am I the only one that's questioning that Manziel really doesn't? In a way, it just seems like just the way he answers interviews that he just doesn't have any worries of his coach. Does his coach have a handle on him, Dad?
No, not at all. I don't believe. There's something about it. It's. I don't know, Lane. It's like he's not disciplined. I don't know. He's. To me, he's different from the rest. He is. He's just. There's something somewhere. I don't know what it is. And then that Mr. Johnny Football name and the parents.
They were already loaded.
Got so much money.
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable, and I don't understand it. He's. I remember one time he said he didn't want to be there. Then he had to tweet back, "I'm sorry for saying that."
Bottom line, he's spoiled.
Exactly.
He's
spoiled.
Kevin Sumlin. I just couldn't think of it.
They better watch him this year because they got the radar on him now, buddy.
I cannot wait. I hate the LSU fans are about to like what I say. He plays Alabama like in the beginning of the season, like week 3
they
or 4.
They better get ready because Alabama will be ready for him.
I have to say that I hope Alabama destroys him. I've never rooted for Alabama, but I want them to destroy him.
Nick Saban owes him one.
What do you think he's going to hit him?
Yeah.
That's good. Boy, the cameras are going to be tuned in for that one. That will be a primetime CBS game. That I can promise you. But in that note, speaking of TV and all that, LSU kicks off with TCU. What is that? That's an ESPN game.
Yeah, that's like 41 days.
August, 31st? Yeah, something like that?
41 days.
We kick off, believe it or not next Sunday, but the Sunday after. 2 Sundays from now, we kick off the first preseason game of the year. It's the Hall of Fame game. It's Dallas and Miami. That'll be fun. We'll kind of be doing the pregame for it. It's preseason, but like Dad said the other day, we'll have football to watch. We there. We should keep saying that.
It's there. I know I'm going to mention this again on Cochran. If y'all have a chance to watch this, y'all watch the inducted Hall of Fame in Natchitoches. They filmed it. Y'all, they said it's so nice. Some guy went on there and said he's just as nice as the Sports Hall of Fame in the NFL. They showed it. I watched the whole thing, Lane. It's unbelievable how nice. We will go see it, and it's nice.
Have you ever seen the NFL Hall of Fame? Though?
No, but I'm just saying what people said.
Yeah, you've seen it on TV.
Yeah,
I have.
Yeah, but it's very nice, and I can't wait to go see it. Lynn Rollins was talking so good about it.
And on that note, that's Dad's buddy, Lynn Rollins. On that note, we're gonna go ahead and hit our first commercial break. We're gonna come back. It's going to be all NFL, and we ain't going to be reporting DS stories about one of the players for the Bucks shooting his other one in the eye or reporting Aaron Hernandez. We're going to talk straight football. We're going to preview this season. I'm tired of talking these stories about these players slapping another teammate. I'm done with that. You?
Yeah, real quick about it, Randy. I just got to throw this in. On Mel Line, they showed it this week where he lives and his cell and all, man. He does have 1 hour to go in a little cage to do push-ups.
Well, good luck to him on that. All right, this is Cajun Sports Radio. We are presented by Best Bike ATV. We'll be back in a second. Hey, it's Laine from Cajun Sports Radio, and right now we have to talk about Best Bike ATV. This is something that you need to know about. Best Bike ATV is a full-service mechanic shop, locally owned and operated, specializing in the repairing of most ATVs, dirt bikes, and motorcycles. They sell a full line of aftermarket as well as factory parts and accessories. They have a factory-certified mechanic on duty at all times. They are an authorized high lifter, Gorilla, STI, and ITP dealer. They are located on Highway 1 in Echo, Louisiana, about 7 miles north of Marksville. Their operating hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit their website at www.bestbikeatv. Contact them at 318-597-9022. Once again, www.bestbikeatv.com. 318-597-9022. You're going to want to check them out. You will be very impressed. Tell them that Laine from Cajun Sports Radio sent you. Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to say real quick, we got a lot of stuff planned in the next few weeks. We kick off football, as everybody knows, in the next couple of weeks. We start preseason, and we're going to keep this thing rolling. And things, like I said, this show changes with the sports seasons. Every Sunday night, 6 p.m., right here at CajunSportsRadio.com. You can listen. Go to Cajun Sports Radio. You can put comments, things like that. Just check it out, CajunSportsRadio.com. And, we'll be giving y'all more and more football news as the weeks go on. We'll be back in a little while.
You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio with Coyote and Laine.
Welcome back to Cajun Sports Radio. Once again, we do appreciate everybody that listens. Go ahead if you want to do it.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody listening, and y'all, that means a lot when everybody's listening. We sure do appreciate it. Say hello to old Rusty out there, guy at work.
Okay, yeah, we appreciate it, and yeah, which by the way, Rusty commented on our show page last week. We do appreciate that. He commented saying that he didn't like the movie Two for the Money. He said that he thought it was terrible, yeah. And he was upset that he missed the show live. Yeah. But hopefully he's listening this week, and if he is, we'd like his input at the bottom right-hand corner. Right off bat, I pulled up everything from last year in the NFL. And I'm going to just throw some things out there, and I hate to do it. This is a big rival. I'm going to go straight to the Atlanta Falcons first. Dad, after the season they had last year, what do you see out of this team this year as far as...
They're going to be dangerous.
Exactly.
They're in our division, y'all. That's going to be our toughest match, to me. Besides, Carolina and the Buccaneers, and they got them. But Atlanta's going to be dangerous, Laine.
Well, guess when we play the Atlanta Falcons? Yeah. That's the first game of the season.
Home or away, real quick?
It's at home.
Yeah.
The Saints play them at home.
Yeah.
Atlanta's schedule right here. You got, and by the way, Tony Gonzalez returned. That was big for them.
Oh, I know.
And, man's 38 years old, still doing it.
That was it last year. He said that was it.
It's supposed to be. I don't know. Maybe he's going to regret that. I don't know.
He's a real good tight end.
Oh, he's one of the best, but man, look at his age. Last year, Atlanta finished 7th in points and 8 in total yards of offense. But they didn't run the ball too well. They were 29th in rushing yards. Bottom line here, Matt Ryan has gotten better. As a quarterback.
He's dangerous.
And look, Rusty put a comment saying, "I hear you, Coyote."
Oh, okay. Thank you for listening, Russ.
But as his career is going on, you got to say, Matt Ryan has gotten more deadly and deadlier.
Oh, yeah. But they always lock up in the playoffs.
Yeah, and they really. But you remember, they beat Seattle barely. They had problems with Seattle.
Yeah.
Remember that? That was the divisional round. Seattle almost beat them. Then they went into San Francisco, and that was a dog fight too. Yeah. San Francisco got the best of them in that one. But there was last year was something different to them in the playoffs. They were very close to going to the Super Bowl, man. They didn't crumble or anything like that. They just faced some good teams in the playoffs.
Right. And any time we play the Falcons, y'all, it's always a match.
We say the Saints because we got national people listening.
Yeah, anytime the Saints play the Falcons, that's a head to head. That's always a good game.
Mm-hmm.
What was it, y'all? Last year they were 7-0, 7-0, and we run it. What was it like? Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah, we beat
and we run it.
And we were terrible.
We just had one out good. It was on a Monday night.
Well, let's look at some of their schedule real quick, and I know we got to move on. Right off the bat, compared to the Saints' schedule, I mean, here's a problem. There's a big problem with this schedule. Their schedule looks a whole lot easier than what ours is.
Naturally.
Or the Saints is, I'm sorry. They got Washington in December 15 and week 15. At home, they get lucky. They got to go to Green Bay in week 14. That'll be tough. It's not really that bad. They got New England coming to town in week 4, but they get New England at home.
Yeah.
Week 4.
In the dome.
In their place, which they're putting a lot of money into that place. In the next future. But really and truly, compared to the Saints schedule, Dad, that's a problem. It's a lot easier, it looks like, or a lot more simpler,
Well, I know we talked about this already. Saints got a tough one. Tough schedule. Very, very tough. And I understand that we play
it's a rotation.
The Falcons, the first
it's a division game.
Division game. I don't understand that either.
It's for all rotation. It really is. It's all rotation. Now we got to go right. We're going to do the NFC. We're probably not going to have time to do both NFC and AFC. But if we don't, we'll move on to it next week. But let's go to San Francisco, Dad.
Whoa.
They were in the Super Bowl last year. Colin Kaepernick has been loud in the offseason, but they get rid of Alex Smith. Alex Smith is no longer. He went to Kansas City. They've made some big moves in the offseason. What do you see this team doing this year?
Dangerous.
Dangerous again. Huh?
Yeah, they're going to be tough, y'all. Very tough.
And, I mean, how good is this Coach Harbaugh? You know, he comes out of nowhere straight from Stanford and automatic success right out of college.
Clone for that. Like the two brothers last year.
That's him.
They eat, sleep, football.
Well, every coach eats and sleeps.
But yeah, because we can't say nothing. Sean Payton just as good as, they're all good, y'all. Whenever you come to a professional, they're all good. All the coaches to me. It's just going to be tough for the Saints. It's going to be a good year. I just can't wait. And
for what you talking about, for the San Francisco 49ers?
Well, they're going to be tough.
Yeah. They have not released the depth chart yet, which most teams haven't. They open camp. I don't know when I'm sure they open. Next week we open camp. Dallas have already opened. Most of the teams open camp by next week. Because Dallas has already started.
Really?
Yeah, Dallas is already in camp right now. Bottom line, they're going to be tough. That NFC West, all in all, is going to be tough.
Yeah.
Look at Seattle, man. They keep doing things that are unbelievable. They keep bringing in more talent.
Pete Carroll's doing one hell of a job, I can tell you that.
And at one point, he said his son didn't want him to. I don't know what it means. Oh, yeah. At one point, a few years ago, that West was considered one of the worst divisions in football, and now it's one of the best.
It done changed, I can tell you that. It changed. But
this is what you get in July 21st. This is the type of stuff. We're trying to create stuff here, but
it's hard to talk sports.
It's going to be rolling. It's going to be rolling in a few weeks, guys. Just bear with us. Green Bay. What do you 11-5 last year. Kind of fell off the turnpike towards the end of the year. What do you see with Green Bay this year? They lost Greg Jennings, too.
Yeah. Laine, that's another team like the Patriots. Just watch for them almost every year.
It's true. Anytime you got a quarterback like Alex Smith, you're going to be able to compete.
Yeah.
That's just it.
That's just always the same story, y'all. They're going to be competitive. It is bottom line.
Well, you look at the Saints. The reason why the Saints are competitive every year is because they have a quarterback, Drew Brees. If you got one of these all-star quarterbacks, you're going to be competitive at all times, you know. Oh, yeah. You're right. His son didn't want him to retire. Rusty is right about that.
Oh, thanks for that, Russ.
Yeah, I did know that. Which, last year, it's your phone. Not somebody's phone getting in the speaker. Yeah. Last year, it's just a signal on the thing. Last year, Tony had his son on for a post game or something like that, and his son asked him, how many more years do you want to play? And he was like, I'm probably gonna hang it up at the end of the year. And his son did say at that time, nah, Dad, you got at least 2 to 3 left.
Oh, okay. Good deal.
Yeah. I'm not happy he's returning, I can tell you that. We got to play Atlanta twice a year.
Yeah.
Come on, man, line it up. It's Minnesota, Dad. They bringing in some new pieces. I
was happy for real quick with Adrian
Peterson.
Adrian Peterson. I got someone trying to remember for them awards. That was nice. You seen that? He almost started crying, man.
Actually, it was more of a comedy thing with him.
Yeah, well, he was so happy he came back like that, He came back and just, tore everything up. And that is good, y'all. That takes some courage. Well, what was it? Like 2 ACL?
1 ACL.
1, but it was bad.
Yeah, but he tore an ACL, and it's not about how bad it was. He tore an ACL in 2011 in, December and was ready to roll at full speed come preseason of last year. Yep. That's unbelievable.
Yeah,
he was the number 1 running back in football last year. He was breaking. That's nothing more than work ethic.
What did he say about his trainer? He wanted to.
He wanted to strangle his trainer.
He said, "I get so mad at him." He said they pushed me so hard, but that's what it's all about. What's the latest on the old RG3? What's the latest? You don't hear nothing about him.
Well, I think he did get married recently, or he's about to get married or something. Oh.
No, but he's going to be ready to go, huh?
Well, he says he is. He had that bad knee injury, too. He claimed.
He tore ACL.
Yeah, and what's interesting is him and Adrian Peterson both tore their ACLs on this same terrible Washington Redskins field.
Well, they said something about all it is sand with some paint on it. That's what they all know.
It's fine at this time of the year. It's a joke, is what that is.
Yeah.
At this time of the year when it's hot, the field's fine. But what happens is come wintertime, when you got, I guess, the way the humidity is or whatever, and the rain and everything like that, you can't play on it. The field, you could see they were running on it. Big pieces of grass would just chunk up, mud and grass. So when RG3 puts his foot in, he's the type of quarterback that likes to run and scramble and stuff like that. When he puts his foot in, the field gave. And same thing happened with Adrian Peterson the year before. Washington, one, piece of advice, might want to invest in a better field. When you got a scrambling quarterback like this and you got all this money in him, you might want to do something with that field.
Well, I think they're going to do something.
They probably already did.
Oh, yeah, they already did something. What's the latest on Vic?
He's going to start, most probably. It's out of him and the other guy there, right off bat, I can't think of his name, for the Eagles. It's a two-way battle. And, of course, they brought the USC quarterback in.
Yeah.
It's a two-way battle. Of course, they started the guy out of Houston last year. He was a rookie. They started him. They benched Vic. But why I'm giving Vic a better chance this year is he's got Kelly now. He's got old Chip. And it's going to be a different offense now. My biggest problem with Vic is he just didn't have time to throw the football. Before he could do anything, they were in his face.
I'm anxious to see what old Chip going to do.
We all are, because this is the talk
of from the old Ducks, yeah.
Oh, yeah, but here's the thing.
I want to see this.
Here's the problem. And I think we'll all agree with this. This is going to be a whole nother ball game rather than this quick snap offense, this hurry-up offense that he would run, at Oregon.
Yep.
He's going to have to run, a real offense. What made Oregon so good is something that they would do is that hurry-up offense. They were the first ones to start that real quick hurry-up offense. I remember watching Saturday night games of them because they're in the West Coast. They wouldn't play on TV till like 9:30.
High score, remember?
They wouldn't run. They wouldn't start till like 9:30. So you would tune in. Of course, LSU would play at 7. So you'd say, oh, okay. Well, LSU will be done about 10:30. I'll tell you what, I'm going to tune in as soon as LSU's done. By the time you would flip over to their game when they were playing a Pac-12 team, it would already be like 40-0 and like the sucker. But the way they do it in the Pac-12 is, okay, they run a play, bam. Before the defense can get set, they're already lined up in the line of scrimmage. It's all quick offense. Nick Saban has complained about it. A lot of coaches have complained about it, saying it's not fair and it's an injury-prone thing that people can get hurt.
Well, what you mean it ain't fair?
Well, it's not fair because you're not giving and it's true, I agree. You're not giving the defense a chance to get set.
I mean, that's their problem.
But the problem is, how is that? Think about it. Okay. You're running a play. You can control what you want to do. If you want to bring in guys or whatever, that's fine. You're basically saying, okay, I'm going to get you on shore speed or shore. I'm just going to beat you to the ball. It's different for the defense. The defense has got to get their play in. It's hard to explain. Before they can switch in and out, the Pac-12 allows that. The SEC does not. Oh. If they try to do that in the SEC, the referee will step over the ball. So, say if Oregon run a play and hurry up and try to get the line of scrimmage, if the defense is not ready, the referee steps over the ball. They will not allow it. Unless Miles gave the referees credit last week for that. In the SEC, they won't allow it. In the NFL, they won't allow something like that. I mean, they could do a hurry-up offense, but you can't hurry it up enough to where the defense isn't even, close to being ready.
I'm kind of anxious to see what old Chick going to do over there in Philadelphia. I want to see. Something like that, it's fun to see what kind of, exactly what's he going to do, in pro. Hey, whole different ball game.
Did you know that Brad Wing is with Philly? We forgot to talk about that. The punter from LSU? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's with Philly. And
That must be a walk-on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, most
I
punters
remember
are.
the time he wasn't
Wasn't
drafted.
Well, most punters aren't. Nick Foles, by the way. I couldn't think of his name earlier. He came from Arizona. I said Houston. It was Arizona Nick Foles came from. But bottom line, Vic's going to... They said if it's a battle, that Vic's going to get the nod. And he should. He's the veteran. But this is Vic's last chance. He's lucky he's back. Because what they
believe his good days is over with.
I still say he's got something left in. I've always backed him up.
Yeah.
They owed him all this guaranteed money. No. They had him in a big contract. But last year they got out. They could have got out of it. There was a way for them to get out of it. They got out of it. But then signed him to a they redid his whole contract. Signed him to a 1-year deal that wouldn't really work that much.
That don't look good whenever they knock it down like that.
Well, they couldn't afford to pay him that type of money.
Yeah.
I can smell a whiskey on my breath. I can tell you this. I can tell you this much though. It's gonna be fun in an NFC East. What do you see the Giants coming back and doing after kind of falling off at the end of the year last year?
They're gonna do good.
Well,
you got Eli, man, and they're gonna do good. How the coach is still there?
How is he still there? He won two goddamn Super Bowls.
Man, he's old, man.
He's not that old.
I know. Shit, Giants coach?
He's still in the 60s.
Oh no!
I bet you $100 bill he's in his 60s.
Really?
$100
I thought he
bill
was
right.
older than that.
I bet you $100 bill right here. He's still in his 60s.
Okay, I thought he was older than that.
He is Tom Coughlin.
Coughlin. Yeah, they're gonna do well.
Coaches right here. I see his age.
Yeah.
But how can you say how is he still there? He's won two Super Bowls in the last few years.
He's a real good coach. He just old, you know.
Oh, let's see. I can hear it back there when you said, "Oh no."
We got the other computer on in my room.
He was born in 46. Okay, so 2006 would put him at 7. No.
Okay. He's 70.
2000, no, 60.
Yeah, he's
so
like 65.
65. Yeah. Still old. 66.
Yeah. He is a good coach. Boy, he gets mad. Media, boy, he gets mad.
Shit, he had a lot of success when he was coaching with, he made his name in Jacksonville. His son, believe it or not trying to go off subject, was actually in the World Trade Center, one of the buildings, right before it collapsed. He barely got out of there in New York, yeah. Look, Rusty had it before we could even, he had 66 before we could even.
Thank you, Rusty.
We need to bring him in as a producer.
Yeah.
He can help us out.
Yeah.
But all in all.
Yep.
Huh?
Yep.
Look at the what? No, okay. But all in all, I could tell you, we can go through these teams all day long. Right now, Dad.
What you think about the Bucks this year?
Thank you. I'm glad you asked about
T.
him.
Freeman.
That's my biggest problem. Good job. Yeah, you kind of creative. We were getting kind of low down there. My biggest problem with him is it's like he's decreasing. His quarterback attributes are getting worse. Like certain things aren't improving out of him that I would like to see improve. Like he started off hot, big name, and then it's almost like he's on a steady decline.
I never was impressed with him. He reminded me of Brooks. I don't know why.
He's got an attitude.
Same play as Brooks. Aaron Brooks. I don't know why.
That's a big insult to him.
I just never really, and I'm sure he's a good fella and all, but on the field, I don't know why he's not. He's just not the quarterback. What. And they could get somebody else.
He was their first-round draft pick, man. I mean, they put it. Dad, he had a hell of a year. Like, what was it, 2009 or 2010? I think his rookie year was what, 10? I think, 9 or 10, one of them. In fact, I'm gonna pull it up here. Bottom line, he started off hot. That's what I'm getting at. But he's declined over the last couple of years. He's had fall-off seasons, and that's the Bucks, That's what they're stuck with. But they revamped their whole coaching staff over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And
they're building, I heard.
They've been rebuilding for years. Ever since Gruden left, they've been rebuilding.
Now, I think, real quick, I don't know why, but I just think Cam Newton's going to have a hell of a year this year.
For Carolina? But
yep.
You know what he said the other day?
I think he is, y'all.
Do you know what he said the other day? And I want to get your comments on this. He said that he is a diehard He's a diehard. He was good before there was expectations put on him. Yeah, Rusty Nelson said that Freeman was good before they put all those expectations on him, and it's true.
Oh, okay.
But even at that, it just seems like here's how it works as a quarterback in the NFL. Your first year or two, they expect you to make these certain mistakes. But by year 3 and 4, they expect that to be gone. They expect basically by your junior year, college.
Yeah.
They expect for some of those mistakes to go out, and they expect for you to incline as a quarterback, and he hasn't done that, But Cam made a comment saying that only, except for 2 games a year when they play him, he's a diehard Atlanta Falcon fan. What do you think of that?
Really?
He came out and said that. Promise.
Wow.
Except for the 2 games that Carolina plays Atlanta, he's a diehard Atlanta Falcon fan. Like, what in the world? You want Atlanta to lose if you him.
That old Atlanta boy, that Georgia, that's why.
Pure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just textbook.
But what do you think? What type of year do you think? Cam kind of had he didn't he blew some big games. He had that fun.
He had the games.
Against Atlanta. Remember that time?
He always pulls through. I don't know what happens the last 6 minutes in a game with Cam Newton.
That's an odd number, 6 minutes.
Oh, whatever number.
6 minutes.
He will fumble it. He will throw an interception. I don't understand what happened.
That happens to a lot of quarterbacks. A la Tony Romo.
Now, as far as having an arm, oh Lord,
and he's a good runner.
Oh yeah, he's talented. I remember for Auburn, that's how they wanted. They won the whole thing, but I believe he had a hell of a year the first year.
Oh yeah, and I think that's Allah would just run. I don't know why I keep saying Allah, but just like what Rusty said earlier about Freeman. Yeah, the expectations it was the same thing with Newton. Expectations did go up after his first year, but his attitude, and they even said that last year that he had a poor attitude last year. And it's true. Remember he made comments about his team, like dogging on his team.
Oh, yeah.
At one point.
The defense and all that.
Yeah, he just even questioned the coaching.
That's what's bad when they pump you up real big. We'll go back real quick to Manziel. It's hard, y'all, to be a freshman, turn around, and get the Heisman now. Let's see what you're going to do the next year. You know what I mean? This kid got a lot of pressure on him. He got a lot of pressure.
Oh, that whole A&M school is on that boy's back.
Oh, my God. They done put some more seats in the stadium. They done spent some money right here. I'm talking about, what pumped them all up again is when they beat Alabama.
In fact, during the ESPYs, that was up for biggest upset of the year. I don't know if you've seen it. Yeah. That was, out of all sports, it was up for the biggest upset of the year when A&M beat Alabama.
Yeah, that was huge, and that's where
he got his name.
His stocks went up.
Now, I remember when I'll never forget. Okay, we played A&M, but the week before, they played Louisiana Tech and almost lost.
You remember that?
It was an ESPN.
They had them. Tech
had the game. They had them beat.
I watched it.
And I remember you coming up to me, like, the week before that, and saying, what do you know about this Johnny football?
Yeah.
And, okay, real quick, Rusty Nelson's comments. Where the difference between a quarterback and a team-leading quarterback is when you can finally achieve those expectations.
That's right.
Yeah.
That you hit it. That's it.
But great comment. Back on that game, I remember Dad coming up to me last week, what do you know about this Johnny football? And I knew a little bit about him, but he didn't have that big-time feel to him. I remember watching that ESPNU game, man. It was exciting.
Yep.
It was, Tech had him. Like you said, Tech had him beat. He came back. Then we played him that week. It was an early game. The LSU played him the week after, and I wasn't that impressed by him.
Nope.
He wasn't that spectacular. But, oh, my God. When he played Alabama that week, you just seen a whole nother guy. I think that's when his confidence came up.
Yeah. Plus, he ran so much, Laine, they couldn't stop him.
Run, passing. I mean, hey, let's keep in mind with Johnny. We forget he is a redshirt. He was a redshirt freshman. He's a redshirt sophomore.
Yeah.
That was his second year in college football, but he got redshirted his first. But bottom line is, yeah, the tension's going to be on him.
What they call that, Lane, after you get the Heisman, you think the next game you're going to blow it? And
Heisman let down.
Shine,
and you were one of them that said it. Said on this show that you thought against Oklahoma he was going to struggle.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. He shined. Huh? He played some football.
He had one of his best games.
He's good. But I just, he got to do this all year now.
Well, they have national championship expectations.
Yep.
So, anytime they lose a game, he's going to get ridiculed. Any game. The only thing that he could do that's going to impress people this year is a national championship. Anything short, he's not going to win the Heisman again. Anything.
No.
Anything short of that. Let's see if I can hear. Anything short of that's going to be a bust.
Yeah.
Anything short of that is going to be a bust. But I know we're going all over the place.
Any news on the Honey Badger lately, that Lane?
I'm going to start calling you the Honey Badger News Network.
That's why I said it. I know it aggravates you in Arizona. He's going to make some noise.
That's all we hear. Every time you report something, he's doing good in camp. He's having a great camp. It's the same stuff. But back to LSU. Since we all over the place. I was thinking of something this week. I think hearing Les Miles' comments and thinking of just some of the moments of Les Miles. Hate or love Les Miles, but he makes it interesting. He makes LSU interesting. If you think about it, he does something, and it makes you wonder. He does either something stupid late in the game, or he does something exciting that makes LSU football interesting. And I started thinking about it. He might not be the coach of Nick Saban, but he's a whole of a lot more entertaining than Nick Saban is.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
He really is.
He had an article the other day, something about climbing the building or something. I don't know. Something else he loves, surprising people or something. I don't know. You never know what he's going to do.
Last two comments by Rusty. To me, Eli Manning is a big example of that, yeah? And Rusty with that, do it again, what you did?
You never know. We always going to pop up with something. And he lied, Rusty lied the other day. We're going to say, that's the biggest sink in. He's like, what? But anyway, what are you talking about? I said, that's one of the things me and Lane say. But anyway.
Bottom line. But like I said, hate him or love him, I'm not saying. But he does something every year to where at the end of the game, you either nervous, you can't wait to tune in. He's always exciting. He brings entertainment to LSU. That's one thing he brings.
Yeah, he does, and I can't wait for football, y'all. I just can't wait. Any news, Lane, real quick we'll switch real quick on Johnny Jones. Nothing to report on with the basketball or nothing.
We didn't go over any. We didn't say that we were going to report anything like that.
No, I was just asking if you heard anything about Johnny Jones or, I ain't heard too much.
I know he's, looking forward to this
real
year.
Quick, they did have an interview with Maneri, baseball. They said, well, how you feel next year with this? Y'all lost this. Y'all going to have. There's only 3 pitchers coming back, y'all. That's it.
Who are they?
Oh, real quick, Lane, I'd have to look. But anyway, he thinks they're going to have a hell of a year.
I mean, what's he going to say? It's like Les Miles during his.
Yeah.
They asked him, what do you think of this player, that player? What's he going to say? Nah, we're going to suck.
So, y'all going to change the game because the way y'all did this year, And
change what game?
The College World Series. Do something different because look what USC did, UCLA. He said, nope, we're going to keep playing our SEC ball. Right, Yep.
I mean, what's the problem is it's hard to change. It's hard to prepare for something that you're only going to do a small part. It's the College World Series is the finishing place. It's the Rolls Royce of the college baseball season.
We just wasn't. We peaked too early. Cut and dry.
Well, that's not where I was going with that. Where I was going with it is you work to get there, and every park is different than what they build over there in Omaha. You can't start worrying about all year. Well, let's start training for Omaha. Let's start training for when we get to Omaha. It's hard enough to get there.
Yeah.
Much less starting to worry about how you're going to play when you get in that field. But we'll help them if they do go back next year. Is they're going to know the field. Because that was not the field when they went. They wanted the last time.
Right.
That was their first time there, the new field.
Jumping back to football, we got a commitment this week. It wasn't signed. A verbal.
Who's with?
That Quinn. That
Yeah, but hold on. Let me explain something to you.
His name is Quinn from
It's
Baton, New Orleans.
somewhere big, but
he's unreal.
You said he didn't sign. You can't sign. Letter of intent's all signed in the National Signing Day. He committed. That's all you could do is commit it this time of the year.
What did Les Miles say about 14-year-old? Tell him.
Oh yeah, he was asked about during the media days, which I wish, man, we could have played the footage.
We'll try again. It might work.
Yeah. Well, I can't do both.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead and say something.
Yeah, no, he said something about recruiting or whatever.
No, talk about something.
But anyway, his name is Quinn, y'all. He's a quarterback. You talk about a good quarterback. If we could latch on to him,
the problem with that is, and I'm not going against what you were saying, but we all think that all these top recruits, they're all good in high school.
Yeah.
If LSU recruits them, they're not going to be bad.
Right.
They all look good in high school, but let's see if we can get... Les Miles was, of course, the most entertaining. I want to see if we can get this to play.
He loves the cameras.
He loves it. He loves the attention. Nick Saban's the exact opposite. Him and Bill Belichick, they hate it. Of course, Alabama kind of had the home... Mike's dead, I think. Alabama kind of had the home court, you could say, or the home field. I don't know why I said court. Because it was in Hoover, which is right there by where Alabama plays. This is my last time I'm going to try it. Let's see if it works.
I don't know why it would.
It's the computer's too slow tonight. It's going to freeze again. Alright. It's not going to work. But bottom line is, we talked about it earlier in the show. He said basically, they asked him about that 14-year-old boy. What's his name?
I said it.
You said it last week. You actually pronounced it wrong.
I don't know why. I don't remember his name.
They asked me, what do you think about recruiting 14-year-old kids? He said, hell, if they're good enough, I'll recruit fourth graders. Yeah. You think I care? If they're good enough, shit. He said, look at LeBron James. He brought up LeBron's name. He said they started recruiting him when he was just a baby. So I guess, that's just typical Les Miles. That's right. Typical what he's going to do. And dang, man, it's almost the whole hour. Almost so. But I don't know. Like I said earlier, preview in the next couple of weeks. It's going to get, just bear with us. It's slow right now in sports. Baseball. Got an email this week asking about Major League Baseball. We don't cover it. I'm going to just flat out say it. We'll cover some of the World Series and the playoffs when that starts in October, but neither one of us have any expertise in the baseball area, and there's not a high demand for it right now anyway, to be honest with you. Not at this time of the year.
Didn't even talk about the home run derby and the All-Star game, y'all. I've never seen that before. They didn't even say nothing about it.
No, it wasn't a big deal. Well, I said the other day. Right now, the only sport that we have going on is Major League Baseball, basically.
Yeah.
And it's still not doing anything, So I was thinking, what basketball ought to do is start later in the year. Instead of trying to start when football's still going on. They should start later. That way, say, basketball would still be going on right now.
Yeah, that's your two major sports.
So, instead of worrying about competing with football early on, they would just be competing with baseball, which they would slaughter them, because baseball can't do nothing even when they bother themselves.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of people that we don't know, Laine, that watch baseball.
I look at the ratings every week.
Yeah.
They're down. I mean, I'm not saying there's not people who watch. I'm just saying the ratings are terrible for baseball. Right. The attention for it is garbage.
We lost the Aces in LA.
Yeah.
Because nobody would go. They just didn't have ain't nobody would go.
It's all about money. That's all it is. But, this is a presentation of Cajun Sports Radio.
Thank y'all for listening.
Yeah, we do appreciate everybody listening. We'll be back 6 o'clock next week. And like I said, look for us in 2. Basically, the pregame for that preseason game in 2 weeks. And we will be breaking down. Somebody asked me that this week. We all be doing all of the preseason games, yes. Every single week we will break down every preseason game. Every single NFL game that takes place, we break down this season. Going all the way to the Super Bowl. Big college football games, we break them down. I mean, we're not going to break down all these small games, but all the big college games during the year we talk about. That's about it. You got anything before we close out?
No. I just want to thank everybody again for listening to Cajun Sports Radio.
Next week, 6 o'clock. Once again, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time next week. PM. Sunday, 6 o'clock PM Central Time. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week.
You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio with Coyote and Laine.
Yeah, to answer your question, Rusty, yeah, we do talk. I'm glad you asked that. We do talk fantasy football. We get into that every year. We usually in a couple of leagues. I know I am in a couple of leagues every year. Yeah, we will talk fantasy football. So if you have any needs in that area, or if you want to talk, a lot of people like talking fantasy football during the season. We will talk about that. So there's PPR leagues, different type of leagues as far as settings are concerned, but we can compare teams and stuff like that going into the season.
Smell the gumbo? You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio.